episode of EPM Chronicles and Confession. We have Jann Tadorian here. Jann, could you please introduce yourself and your EPM journey?
Sure. Hi, Tim, and thank you for having me. I'm Jann Tadorian, founder and CEO of Inplenion International. I founded the company in 2006. We are, in the meantime, a EPM consultancy operating in entire EMEA, and we have more than 200 EPM consultants. We are a diamond partner of OneStream and are still supporting quite a lot of Oracle Hyperion clients. On my journey, so maybe my first touch point actually with performance management started very early and visual. Actually, I used to be a professional and semi-professional football player in the early times.
Fantastic.
And in this context, I had to deal also with my own performance and with the team performance. So managing the performance was a key concept also at that time from the very beginning. So this was something that probably has touched me from the beginning. But then more common, I have studied business administration at the University of Bern in parallel of playing football. And during all the breaks, summer breaks, I did actually an internship at General Motors, where I got to know finance in much more detail. At this time, I wrote also my thesis on performance management in multinational companies. So I had really to look into the different concepts already at that time. So it was also the time where balanced scorecard came up. So to have a balanced approach, not only financials, but also non-financials. And this was back in 1996. The start at General Motors was also great because I had actually my first software evaluation. So I had to look for new consolidation tools. So I got to know System W from ComShare. This was an all consolidation tool, and then also for sure Hyperion Enterprise for the first time. So it was a really great time at General Motors to really put in practice what I learned actually during my studies at the university. Afterwards, I worked in the EPM software industry. I worked also for an IT data warehouse company. And finally, I joined a management consulting company. So to have really a great view on all the areas and all the topics which forms the enterprise performance management industry. And with all these experiences, I decided in 2006 to found Inplenion and really to have the vision to become the best partner for CFO offices, integrating excellent finance, but then also all the implementation capabilities that are needed to have successful solutions. Yeah, that's a bit a short summary of my journey so far.
Okay, thank you so much. So here's another question, which because we work in a very complicated industry, it's very hard to explain to others outside our industry what we do. Have you had any kind of misconceptions, or how have you got about explaining it to people who don't really understand EPM, what you do?
Actually, when I heard the other podcast from all these great people that you have had in your podcast, I was actually thinking about such a humorous story, and actually I was thinking that maybe this one could be interesting. So when my wife actually got to look at our new slogan a few years back, the slogan was Inplenion, the performance architect. And now you need to know that my wife is an architect, actually. So she designs building projects like museums, shops, villas, and such type of things. Yeah. So after having looked at my marketing material, the new marketing material that we had, she asked me, and now you are also an architect, and this in a really challenging way. So this was actually quite funny.
No, it is. Yeah, definitely. So in your career, EPM career, what's been the most significant challenge that you faced, and how have you overcome that?
Okay, there are many challenges, but I think one of the most challenges that we face again and again is the belief that buying a software will resolve all your issues. And unfortunately, this is not the case. So I believe in our business, software is only one part of a successful journey, a successful project. I think you need also to put efforts in managing the change. You need to have the data quality in place. These are as important as the software. And this is often neglected, even that in one case, I had a customer who bought first many software modules. And then when we got to get to know each other, when we had the introduction meetings, he was actually asking us what to do with those modules. So I think sometimes it gives this flavor, oh, if you buy everything in software, then all your issues are going to be solved. But that's not the case.
Sure. Thank you so much. What would you say is your standout success in EPM? What was it?
So I would say, luckily, I had few such success stories, I would say, in the last 25 to 30 years that I'm in the business. But one what was maybe really standing out, it was actually for a mobile operator. And there, what started really as a small POC, really, we had few days to build a POC for a consolidation solution.
Right.
Actually, of a failed project that we had to redo. This has really ended to become one of the biggest EPM journey in Middle East, actually, with more than 30 single projects in the following 5 years. So from strategy management to enterprise planning, financial consolidation, profitability and cost management, treasury management. So we had to implement really, I would say, a real EPM where we have really put together all those elements to make a one EPM platform at the end. Yeah. So I think this was quite impressive because it really started without thinking about the future, just solving a first issue, a first topic, and how it has evolved over the 5 years to become a very, very big EPM journey. This was, I think, quite a nice success story.
Cool. So what's the most rewarding part of your job that you do?
I think most rewarding for me is really to work directly with people in projects, in any kind of situations in our EPM space. I appreciate to build trust and relationship with customers during the journey, because we go through tough moments. We find solutions together. We spend sometimes weekends together just to get the go live at the right time. And this really helps to build this trust and even build friendship over time.
Yes, sure.
So spending private time afterwards with former clients, it's something that I really enjoy. So this people aspect, I think, for me at least, it's the most important part.
Cool. So could you share as an unexpected moment, or something that you didn't expect, or a funny moment that you can share with us, with the audience, in your career?
Maybe in the continuation of this previous aspect, I would highlight the unforeseen is maybe that I have worked with people 20 years ago, and they are still part today of my professional or private network.
Yeah, awesome.
I would never have thought at the beginning of my career that I would meet people that would be still part of my life 20, 30 years later.
Sure.
So I think this is something which is really unforeseen. It was really unforeseen for me, and I enjoy it. So it's not funny, but it's really unforeseen, and it's really nice that this is the case.
Cool. Thank you. So this is a question for budding entrepreneurs out there. So what's been the inspiration to start your company or consultancy and grow it to such a large extent now? You're one of the biggest players in the market that you operate in.
I think there are two reasons. First, my first boss I had, he was so inspirational. He was a doctor in philosophy and in mathematics, and he read so many books. He knew so many things, and being around him in the CPM space and seeing him how he dealt with CEOs when I was very young. For me, all the CEOs or partners of big consultancies, this was always a highlight. And see how he was dealing with them really made him so inspirational. But it has a downside. So every time that I got a new boss, I compared every boss with him.
Of course. Yeah.
And this was really difficult because I didn't find anybody like him anymore. And then like, I think the resolution was just to be my own boss and start my own company. And maybe the second reason is also that during I had to be an entrepreneur, even being an employee. And at a certain time said, okay, now if I am employee or I found a company, I will have to generate new deals. I will have to get along with CFOs. I will have to design solutions. So I said, okay, why not to start my own company and do it from scratch so I can really define it myself. And that's how I started Inplenion in 2006. So these were probably the two main reasons.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. So you're a leader, you're a founder, you're your own boss, but there are a lot of things happening in the industry we work in. How do you keep abreast of things happening? How do you keep updated and the competition, of the new vendors, of the products out there?
New approaches or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a really firm believer of lifetime learning. So after having done the first steps in EPM, I really realized that EPM is really an interdisciplinary practice. So you need to be strong in finance. You need to have knowledge in IT and data management. You need to know about transformation, digital transformation, and you need also to have regulatory capabilities. So it's always in this context that you have your projects. So I actually I put at the beginning also of my career, I put myself a goal to really complement my business administration master that I did, to have this strong finance background. But I wanted to complement these skills that I just mentioned also over time. So actually for me, maybe also unusual, it ended up also to complete a master in information management, to really deal with informations, with data, with this kind of knowledge that you need to know. Later, I did a master in digital transformation because all the topics of blockchain, of AI started to appear. And now I'm just actually finalizing my LLM with a thesis on corporate governance and ESG. So that's a bit particular. I like to force myself to really deal with topics a bit in more details than just at the surface. So I had to cope in details with these different studies that I did. And for sure, besides this, I think we need to read continuously in interesting articles or blogs or magazines to see where everything goes, and to be in touch with the clients. It's still something that I like to do. You see also in the practice where the journey is going and what are the new trends. So I think lifetime learning is key, and be always interested in things and always be willing to learn. I think this was always a good thing for me.
Fantastic. So a lot of our audience are beginners or people thinking of moving to EPM, or people who are just genuinely wanted to improve their skills. What's your advice for beginners in the industry, or people who are looking to upskill more?
So I think particularly to be strong in EPM, it's probably advisable to build first, I would say, a first strong finance EPM functional foundations, to really have the foundation to really understand the concept of accounting and really finance in general. And as I did, it's really to start to complement these skills that are necessary also to be successful. So you need to know about IT tool implementation. You need to know about project management and all the other capabilities that I mentioned also before. So I think starting with finance, it's very important, because then you have your strong foundation, but then you need to complement it with other skills. And maybe if you start your first work, maybe it's almost more important to select the right manager than the company.
True, yeah.
Because I think having a good manager at the beginning will be very inspirational. Okay, the danger is that it's too inspirational and then you don't find anything like this in the future. So this can also be the downside.
Sure.
But for sure, it will give you inspiration and will lead maybe to a sustainable career. So I would really select the manager or the people with whom you work before all the rest. I think I would go that way.
Fantastic, cool. So the industry is changing. It's very fluid. It's dynamic. It has changed in many ways. So what would you say in your, like, you've got a crystal ball, what's going to happen in the next 5 years or so, or in the future in our industry?
I see maybe two points. So on the one hand, I think a holistic approach of strategy management will be more and more important. So I mean, really integrating the business strategy with ESG, with risk and opportunities.
Yes.
But then also the regulation and compliance. This will be really essential for sustainable success. So I think because in strategy management, often these different topics that I mentioned are still looked in silos, but bringing this together to a real strategy framework, which considers all these topics in an integrated, holistic approach, I think this will get more and more importance. And secondly, on the other hand, clearly what we have heard often, I also believe that AI, machine learning, will be more and more integrated in EPM frameworks, in solutions, really as assistant to facilitate the work of the different roles that people have in the EPM, in the CFO space. So the tools to help to facilitate the work of everybody, I think this will also be a second component which will be important in the coming years.
Thank you so much, Jann. It's been really fascinating, it's really insightful, and also very much, I'm sure the audience will get a lot of inspiration with some of the words you've said. So thank you so much, and definitely we'll be in touch, and hopefully we'll do stuff in the future also. Have a good day.
Okay, thanks a lot, Tim. It was great to be here. Thank you.
You too. Bye-bye.